Time to check the bark beetle traps once more. They've been out for about 7 weeks now. I've also found some wind-fallen trees that work as indicators and a few missed logs from last winter's clear cut. While chasing the wind-fallen trees, I'm sure I missed something more. This first wind-fallen tree here is actually quite close to the house, and I have one right next to the garage also that have fallen down. And from what I can see in this one here, I checked on it earlier because this one was fallen already by this early spring, and I could not see any indications, but now they have found it. But as I see it, they have just started laying eggs in this one. There is no larvae and no fresh beetles, so I will keep monitor this one and probably debark it at some point later on. But I like having a few good trees around so I can see the progress. We had a few weeks where it was dry and hot this spring, but since then it's been rainy and cold. So from what I can see, they are having a hard summer breeding, at least up north here. The traps up around the house I actually checked last evening. I have three of them close to the house, and they have had very few in them this summer compared to some previous years, so that is good. Last one around the house had a quite big spider in it, and a few beetles. The first two had pretty much nothing in them. And the rest of the video here was recorded earlier today. I tried to upload as quickly as possible to so that it's very close to the actual day that I checked the
Number
traps.
5. I think I've started the camera for all the ones before. And very little in the trap right now, but last one to empty, but I think this is normally number 7. I've taken them in the wrong order physically, but in editing I think I will rearrange them to the same as previous times, just for consistency. And not very much in it. So overall it looks like it's less than previous years, and so far I'm happy. I'm actually gonna go on a little bit of vacation with the motorcycle for a few days now.
Here is another log that was forgotten during the clear cutting. It's actually very close to the road, so I'm just happy this one was forgotten, that I have an indication. My dad has checked it a few times to see how they're doing, and half of it is debarked already because this was found very early. But it's still good to keep track and see how well the the beetles are able to reproduce. But it looks like it's gonna be a bad year for them, and I'm just happy about that.
Time for the one that has had the most bark beetles so far this summer. This time around also, but it's not a whole lot.
And here is another wind-fallen tree. This is close to the edge of the clear-cut area, and it's quite common you have a windfallen tree or a couple of them near a new clear-cut. Here I could find that I both have the beetles in the beetle stage and in the larva stage. I would expect if they had a good swarming early in the spring, all of them would be pretty much in the same stage and only find beetles in there. Find it a little strange that I'm finding larvae also, so it gives me an indication that they have not swarmed very big this spring, it feels like. And here I have a couple. This was the biggest blunder this winter. I think it was 4 or is it 5 of them. This the small timber kind, and there is one more not far from it, but it's also a place I can get a little bit of an indication. Sadly, it's far away from the road, so it's a bit of a walk to get out here, but does not seem like I get a whole lot of new beetles or larvae in here, so that is good. If I sound a little tired, it's because I am. I had my niece visit yesterday and struggle a lot having some little mini moto, getting that running. But we got it running eventually, and she managed to both ride a little and tip over a little. And so did her uncle. He tipped over with it also.
Not very many. Not long ago this area where these traps are generated the most bark beetles that season. So I'm hoping they are on the decline. This one doesn't look very pretty. I wonder if someone has taken a bite out of this one, but as long as they survive it shouldn't matter. Now over here we have one of the spruce, because I had a few spruce, mainly pine here. This one has also been someone taking a bite out of, so someone here is eating my plants a little, but the wildlife have to thrive also in a healthy environment. Down here where it's a little damper, a little more marshland towards, there is more spruce planted. Higher up here mainly pine with a spruce here and there just for variation. And another one has taken a bite out of this plant. This one is healthy. I do know that some of the forest birds, the capercaillie that I've learned it's called in English, tjäder in Swedish, at least the spruce, when it has the fresh new growth in the spring, the capercaillie enjoys eating that from small plants. But if it does the same for pine, I'm not sure. Someone might clarify that in the comment if they have better knowledge about the Swedish forest birds.
And the last few turned out the Minimoto I talked about earlier. When I tried to turn with my long legs, my knee got caught under the handlebar.
Nothing.
And I couldn't step off the foot peg and
beetles this summer.
stabilize myself.
Might be one down here, but I'm not sure if that's a bark beetle or something else.